Jeff Lebby to Alabama, and it's a conversation that's on a lot of Sooner fans' heart right now, and I feel like we need to talk about it some more and kind of reset expectations here because I think there's a narrative that Jeff Lebby's gone from Oklahoma, and Oklahoma fans don't know what to do. And yeah, so before we talk about it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what y'all are thinking down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to be Alabama's next offensive coordinator? Do you think it's Jeff Lebby or do you think it's somebody else? And I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of insight to that here at the end of this as well. But Jeff Lebby to Alabama. So this is interesting because last year, Jeff Lebby was one of the hottest names on the market when the offensive coordinator roles and even some head coaching jobs were available. And this year, you heard that Jeff Lebby turned down 2 head coaching jobs. I believe one was at Louisiana, one was at Ohio. So you guys might need to fact check me on that. But I know he turned down 2 head coaching jobs, and I believe it was at those 2 schools. So why would he want to take a lateral move to Alabama? And some people will tell you that if Jeff Lebby takes the lateral move to Alabama, he's going to get a better head coaching job because Alabama is just a better school in general. Not necessarily, because when you think about it, there was a hole left when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma just high and dry the next day that Oklahoma was going to fall off the map in terms of offensive production. Well, in fact, Oklahoma did not fall off the map in offensive production. Oklahoma was the 13th ranked offense in the country this year. So Jeff Lebby has shown that he can continue what Oklahoma has prided itself on, even without Lincoln Riley. Here's the deal. Alabama and Oklahoma. Alabama has won more national championships. They're still blue blood programs. It's not that big of a jump. It's not as big of a jump as people think it is. And ultimately, I don't think Jeff Lebby's leaving. I think you're going to see Jeff Lebby in an Oklahoma sideline probably for the next 2 or 3 years. Because I think for Jeff Lebby, he's waiting on the right job to open up for him to take a head coaching job. I really do. I think that's the case. And I don't think he wants to leave his alma mater in the way that he left it. But let's talk about it this way. Because I know there's probably going to be a couple of you that are watching this video and think that we should get rid of Jeff Lebby, that we should let him walk. Who are we going to go out there and get? Jump down in the comments and let me know who you think we're going to go out there and get. Because I'll riddle you this. This year at Oklahoma, 13th ranked offense in the country, 474 yards a game, 6,162 yards this year. In 2021 at Ole Miss, while he was the offensive coordinator, and we're only going to talk about years he was an offensive coordinator, he had 492 yards a game, 6,400 yards that year. In 2020 at Ole Miss, 555 yards a game with 5,555 yards. Now remember, that was also a COVID-shortened year, so if they would have been able to play a little bit more, there's a chance that number would be even higher on the total yardage. 2019 at UCF as the offensive coordinator with Dylan Gabriel as his quarterback. Mind you, I point that out. Offense, 540.5 yards a game, 7,000 yards. Jeff Lebby has been a part of some of the most prolific offenses in college football over the past couple of years. So if you think that letting Jeff Lebby walk is going to be good for this program and good for this locker room, you are crazy. And there's not really anybody else out in the country that is available that we are going to be able to go out there and grab that is going to make a huge difference. And Jeff Lebby knows it. That's why Jeff Lebby's not leaving. Jeff Lebby's not going to leave Oklahoma. And for those of you who don't want him here, you can go root on Oklahoma State. Because you are also the same fans that root for Rattler to be benched for Caleb Williams and make it to where players negatively see Oklahoma as a place where the fan base doesn't support their players to the highest of capabilities, even in the worst times. That's you. Now, that's not all the fans. A lot of you guys, the majority of you that watch my videos, you don't fall into this category. But there are some of you that are going to be calling for Jeff Lebby's head, and you're the same reason why Brent Venables left in, what was it, 2009, 2010? Same reason. You ran him out of town. You want to do the same to your offensive coordinator? Do you want a crappy offense? Because that's where you're going. But Jeff Lebby is not leaving the University of Oklahoma. He will be staying here. But the Alabama offensive coordinator job is pretty interesting because who takes it? Because when you look at Alabama's quarterback room, it's extremely talented. You've got Jalen Milroe, who I think is a really good dual threat quarterback. I think he can sling the ball under the right development. You've got Ty Simpson, who, if you give him the time of day, put him in the pocket, yeah, he's going to throw that ball around the field. You've got Amani Stewart, another freshman. Well, he'll be going into his sophomore year. Him and Ty Simpson will be going in their sophomore years. And then you've got the two new guys coming in, the two true freshmen coming in, Eli Holstein and Dylan Lonergan. Eli Holstein was a top 100 player in the country. Dylan Lonergan was a top 150 player in the country. These are guys that are going to make an impact at the Alabama quarterback position for a long time. And whatever offensive coordinator comes into Alabama, they're going to have a picking at what kind of offense they want to run, and they'll have pretty much any quarterback there that knows how to do it and that is able to fit it. The question is, who is it? I think the number one option is definitely on everybody's mind, Dan Mullen or Joe Brady. I think both of those options are great. Dan Mullen has been in the SEC West. He knows how to break down SEC defenses. You got Joe Brady. He developed quarterbacks at LSU, now doing it at Buffalo. Joe Brady, I think, would be an awesome guy to be able to bring in, help develop the elite quarterbacks that you get at Alabama. It would be an intriguing hire and something intriguing on the recruiting trail. You got Derek Dooley. He's currently the Alabama offensive analyst. Promote from within. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to necessarily leave the school that you're at to go find the coaching staff that you want to bring in. There's also Brian Johnson, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback coach. Look at what he has done with Jalen Hurts, a former Alabama quarterback, mind you. And then you've got Cliff Kingsbury. Now, this one's probably unlikely because Cliff's taking a sabbatical, but it's going to be interesting. Jeff Scott is one that I think everybody should keep their eyes on. Former South Florida head coach. I think he just took another job at Clemson again. But this is a guy that has been able to be an elite recruiter. And he's also a guy that Clemson's best offensive years were under Jeff Scott. Now, I get it. Tony Elliott was the co-offensive coordinator while he was there, but he left and Tony Elliott was still there and their offenses were not succeeding. It's an option. Alabama can go any direction they want. It's Alabama. Alabama is one of those schools where they have one of the most known coaching staffs in all of college football. But when it comes to Jeff Lebby in Alabama, I just don't think it's going to happen. You see one side talking about Jeff Lebby to Alabama, and then you don't hear anything else. So go ahead and jump down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Who do you guys think is Alabama's next offensive coordinator?